Is your desire a heart or head desire? Now, what do I mean by that? Because only one of them can actually manifest and will manifest. The other is very hard to manifest, and it's what a lot of people will spend most of their time and their lives trying to achieve, and then they'll come to the ultimate conclusion that they can't get what they want, that the universe isn't supporting them, or that manifestation just doesn't exist at all. This is what causes that. So we're going to go over how to actually discover if it's a heart or a head manifestation. I'm going to go over a little exercise in a moment on how you can actually discover this. But essentially what I'm really going to be asking you is, do you want what you really want? Because a lot of us will spend years of self-discovery thinking and trying to achieve something that we think we want, but the actual problem here is that we think we want it. And it's like a shadow. It's a manifestation shadow here, because we think we want it. Like, truly our conscious brain wants it, but it's not a aligned desire. It's like a faux desire, and that's why it doesn't happen, or it happens very slowly and very difficult. Your most authentic and aligned desires are the ones that do happen seamlessly. So think about it when you're trying to manifest something, and you know, some of the things, they just happen seamlessly, like you don't really need to try. They're usually the things that you don't even like really want them that much, you don't give them much thought. Those are the desires that are the most heart aligned, because they're so effortless. The one that is inauthentic is the head desire, sorry. The heart desires are the ones that are most aligned, and the head desires are the ones that are the faux desires, the inauthentic desires. Those are the ones that don't manifest, and they're usually appearing as really strong desires because they make the most sense. They're the most realistic, and they're the ones that we can see manifesting the easiest. That's why it's such a big shadow that you don't realise is going on, because it seems the most realistic, but it's actually a faux desire, and it's all created by your conscious mind. So a couple of ways that we can know if we have a faux desire before we get into the exercise. So in the meantime, whilst I'm talking, can you just think of the biggest desire that you have right now? Over the next few minutes, whilst I'm just discussing what it might look like, think of that biggest desire that you have. Think of why you want it. Think about it. What is it? What's the biggest desire that you have? Just picture it for a moment. What is that biggest desire? And then you can do this with all your other desires after this video. So the desire is usually something, whilst you're manifesting it, it will feel like there's some resistance in your reality. You're not really sure how or when it's going to unfold, even though you think you know how it's going to unfold. So you're thinking, yeah, it should unfold through this, but this. But you're also thinking, but really, how will it unfold and when will it unfold? Because I'm expecting it to unfold in this certain way. So now I'm questioning, like, when is it going to happen? Like, how is it going to happen? And this is the resistance that you kind of feel in your reality. It feels realistic, but you're also waiting for it to happen and thinking, can it really happen this way? The likelihood is as well that you've got a head desire is if it feels, again, logical, and the other things that I mentioned. So if it feels logical, and it also feels like there's some resistance, and it also feels like you don't know when it's going to happen, that's the likelihood of a head desire. So if you can already pinpoint it, great, but if not, the reason why these are bad is actually because they're on a low frequency, because they're quite logical. And without revealing too much before the exercise, They're on a low frequency, essentially. They're almost coming from a place of lack. And because of the fact that it's so logical and realistic, it gets in the way of the universe's plan. It gets in the way of the true, easiest way that it could happen, or a manifestation could happen. And I'll explain why in a second. So what happens then if we have a head desire? So we're on a low frequency because of the lack. It'll appear, or it'll be disguised as a really strong desire that will elevate you to the next level. And you will feel really good when you get it for some reason or another, which is why it feels so strong, like the desire is so strong there. And it feels like it's really coming, because you can really feel how you're going to feel at the end of it. You'll usually have a lot of faith in it because it's well thought out. Because it's realistic, right? You know exactly how it could happen, how it's going to unfold. So you usually have a lot of faith in it, which again causes a lot of blindsidedness, because you're like, yeah, this could happen. But then you're also like, why isn't it happening, right? So what is your biggest desire? What is your biggest desire? Have you thought of it yet? You've got literally another minute. So this is what a heart desire is. The heart desire is the aligned desire. The heart desire feels like a warm, fuzzy feeling in your chest when you think of it. There's nothing else going on. It's just this pure feeling in your chest. It gets you excited. It heightens your heart rate. Versus if it's a head desire, when you imagine it happening, it's like a feeling of relief when you're visualizing. Feeling of relief, like, I got it. I finally feel like this. So if you kind of seeing the connections here, you're seeing the differences here. So a heart desire is where you're actually detached. So you might feel like you're detached with the head desire, but with the heart desire, you know and you feel detached. So your heart desire, you're like, oh, I know I'm detached. But then the heart desire, you're like, I feel detached. Which is why so many people look at videos on how to detach, how to achieve attachment, because they're like, I know I'm detached, but I'm also, my body knows that I'm not truly feeling the detachment yet. I'm not feeling it. But it's like, I know it's there, I just can't feel the detachment yet. So they're like looking for the reasons on how to help them with the detachment. But you're detached because the feeling is so good that you carry it with you every single day with a heart desire. That's the reason why you feel the detachment so strong, because the feeling of this desire is so strong in your chest that it's easy to carry it with you every single day. Whereas with the head desire, it's a desire where you're constantly practicing the manifestation techniques. Like at nighttime, you have to get into the visualization in order to connect with the desire. You have to go through that process of getting yourself into that state so that you can visualize or affirm whatever your technique is. And that's when you feel the desire. That's when you feel the end result. Whereas with a heart desire, you're detached because you just feel it every day. It's so easy to connect to that feeling. You don't have to do anything. And this is why the heart desire is an embodiment, whereas the head desire is a manifestation. A manifestation where you try to achieve it and you purposely do things like a checklist. I'm going to do this for the day in order to get me closer to my desire. I'm going to do this to get me closer to my desire. I'm going to do my morning ritual, my nighttime ritual. And then, for instance, one time you forget to do it. You're like, oh my God, is this going to sabotage my desire? That's because it's so logical, the head desire is. It's so logical that you feel like you need to do X, Y, and Z in order to get there. Whereas the heart desire is an embodiment. It's like our next level state of being. The heart desire is. It's truly what you'll start achieving when you start doing the manifestation shadow work. and you start to become the desire rather than actively manifesting it. When you start doing your inner work, you start to realize when it's a head and a heart desire, and you start to only go for the heart desires, because you can realize when it's a head desire and you just don't desire those kinds of things anymore, because you're just on this higher state of consciousness that you know what you want to embody, you know who you are, and therefore you know what you want. And you want things that are going to elevate your embodiment rather than elevate your external world through your head. Instead of changing your life, you're just going to be the new life. That's what it's like when you have the heart desire. So this is kind of the entry level of the shadow work manifestation, the entry level inner work as a whole for manifestation, recognizing and distinguishing between these two things. And a lot of people, they won't do the work, and therefore they will be stuck in the head desires forever. So here's the exercise then. So what was that desire? Just picture the words in your mind. Maybe it's like 10k months, maybe it's a health, house, a car, job, business, whatever it is. What's that main desire in your head? Put your hands on your heart and now think of why. Why do I want this? Because of this. Because I'll feel this way. Whatever it is. But remember what you're telling yourself, what's coming up for you. Remember it. Imprint it in your mind. So why did you want that? Say it again in your mind. So the first thing, there'll either be two things that you start coming up with. So the first thing is your why looked like this. It'll enable me to this, and then therefore then I can do this, and then I'll feel so good finally. So it's like a road of this transformation. It'll allow me to do this, then this, because of this, and then I'll feel this. So was that number one for you? Number two is it would have gone like this. You've got your hands on your heart and you're just like, oh, I don't really know. I just want it. It's just like a feeling. The desire just feels like a passion. It's just something that I want. It just feels like a strong passion, like I need to do this. I want to do this. So was it a number two or a number one? Comment down below which one it was for you. And if you haven't already worked out which one was which, number one, if you found yourself thinking the path, it'll enable me to do this, and therefore I can do this, and then I can do this, that's a head desire. Whereas number two is the heart desire. You don't really know why you want it, you just want it. It's a passion. It's almost illogical. Whereas number one is very logical. Because you want this, so then you can finally do this, and then you'll finally feel like this. So what you'll usually find is that you actually want this thing at the end, that feeling at the end. We always want a feeling. So we think that we need to do X, Y, and Z in order to get that feeling here. So we think that by manifesting this one thing here, maybe it's like going to uni or something, or starting a business, so that then you'll feel happy, then you'll feel fulfilled, then you'll have the money, and then you'll actually feel super safe and free. So that's a head desire because it's logical. It's like a fluid, logical thing. But you don't really want the university degree or the business. What you want is the freedom at the end of it. The feeling of at the end of it, of happiness, of fulfillment, of freedom. That's what you want. But your mind has like logically come up with this way that it thinks that you need to do in order to get there. Whereas the heart desire is just completely straight. Imagine you're on the aligned path of your true heart's desires. It's like the high frequency is just like a path straight up. That's the path that you get in tune with that end desire immediately. It's just a feeling. You want the feeling, you know the feeling. The feeling is very clear, and therefore it's like a warm fuzzy feeling, like a passion in your chest. You don't know why you want the freedom. You don't know why you want the safety and security. It's just a feeling. A lot of things that are the head desires is actually manifesting money, but you can do this in a very conscious way. A lot of the reasons is people will manifest money in order to feel the happiness, in order to feel the fulfillment, in order to finally feel the fulfilled goddess feeling and be able to buy what you want and live the life. But really what you want is the feeling of living that life, the feeling of freedom, the feeling of security. That's what you want, and you feel like money is the thing that's going to get you there, which is very logical, and that's probably the closest you're going to get to an authentic desire is through manifesting the money. However, it's not the thing that we should be actively manifesting. It's not the thing we need to be actively pursuing. It's not the money we need to be manifesting in our techniques, in our embodiment. Instead, what we need to be doing is embodying the final feeling. So if you find yourself doing the logical stuff like the XYZ every single day, I'm going to do my money manifestation technique, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, my visualization, what you need to be doing is the heart aligned embodiment every day. So scrap this, start embodying the final feeling every day. If you want to manifest the goddess lifestyle, the secure world, all this business, you have to become that. So this is the lesson that I actually taught just yesterday in Paid to Exist, because I'm finally filming it now. I'm filming all the lessons. It should be ready very soon. So if you're watching in the future, it might already be ready in the description, but you can sign up to get notified. There's a lot of other things I'm going to discuss in there about this exact thing on how to differentiate between the heart and the head, because there's a lot more things you can do to actively do the inner work to make sure you don't manifest these things, and how to recognize when you do have these manifestations, and also how to manifest through your heart. So how to jump directly to this end result of you living and embodying. So it's all about the inner work in order to allow yourself to embody the final desire, the final feeling. That's what this whole section is on in Paid to Exist. And it's perfect because it's in Paid to Exist. So this kind of manifestation, the embodiment work, is the truest inner work that you can do in order to actually get to the end result. The manifestation work is almost like the entry level work. It's always related to the logical stuff. But when you're on a higher consciousness and you're into the inner work, you know that you need to just jump straight to the end feeling and the embodiment. And that's how then you're going to achieve the life of your dreams and get paid to exist. So it all matches in the title there. So if you want to get deep into the inner work of manifestation, shadow work, Paid to Exist is going to be the perfect program for you. Other than that, I hope this helped you. Don't forget to comment down below whether you was a 1 or a 2. I'm super intrigued to see. Remember, the biggest step here is realizing. The biggest step is becoming self-aware and conscious of yourself. If you're in denial, or if you're still not sure, then that just means there's more inner work that needs to be done around your manifestation. But the first step to elevating to that next level and actually embodying the desire is becoming aware. So if you discovered something today about yourself, if you discovered that you've been a logical manifestor in your head this whole time, you have just taken the next step today in your manifestation inner work journey, because you have now realized a shadow in your whole entire journey that you've been doing this whole time. So congratulations. So anyways, I'll see you in the next video, and I'll hopefully see you in Paid to Exist when it's actually out. I'll give you guys updates, but I'm super excited. These lessons are so in-depth and it's really transformational as well. So I'm so excited to see you inside there, and also to see you guys' transformations. I'll see you in the next video. Have a lovely, lovely day.